All right, let's dive into something that, kind of operates in the shadows of our daily lives. We're going to pull back the curtain on some really subtle dangers that can hide behind questions that sound totally innocent. This is about learning to guard yourself against a type of manipulation you might not even know exists. So let's see what this actually looks like.
When we think about things like witchcraft or spiritual harm, our minds usually jump to something really dramatic, right? Like strange rituals, weird chants, something out of a movie. But the source material for today's explainer makes a really important point. That's just not how it works most of the time, especially not today.
Instead, the real danger is way, way more subtle. It sneaks into your life looking like a friendly chat or someone just being curious, maybe even offering to help you out. It's the kind of threat that doesn't bang on your door because it's already inside, just woven into the conversations you have every single day.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever just had that feeling, that gut feeling that something is off? Maybe an unexplained heaviness in your chest, or a wave of anxiety that hits you out of the blue? If any of that sounds familiar, then this explainer might just give you the answers you've been searching for.
So how does this kind of manipulation actually work? Well, according to our source, it often operates through a very specific set of questions. We're calling them the 7 silent questions. Think of them as red flags that are disguised as just normal, everyday conversation.
These 7 questions are like keys. They're designed to gather your information, find your vulnerabilities, and basically unlock doors you never, ever meant to open. So let's start by looking at 2 of the most deceptively simple ones.
Okay, this first one sounds so harmless. Picture this. A friend sees a ring you're wearing and says, "Oh, that's beautiful. Can I try it on?" Or maybe someone asks to borrow a scarf or see an old photograph. It's a totally normal, everyday request, right? Or is it?
And here's where we see the 2 sides of the coin. What sounds like simple curiosity could, in the wrong hands, be a tool for what's known as sihr, which is a term for witchcraft or sorcery. The idea is that personal items, especially things you've worn or feel connected to, carry what our source calls an energetic footprint. They can literally be used to create a spiritual link for our ritual, targeting you without you even knowing it.
This prophetic saying really puts the spiritual weight of this into perspective. The warning against fortune tellers is crystal clear. So when you give a personal item to someone who has bad intentions, you could accidentally be stepping into that same forbidden world. It's about unknowingly opening a spiritual door that's meant to stay shut.
All right, let's move to the second example, and you'll see how this starts to build. Imagine you're in a deep conversation, you're feeling comfortable, and someone asks you this. It sounds so caring, right? Like they genuinely want to listen and help you through your pain. But again, that intent can be totally twisted. Some people don't listen to help you heal, they listen to collect your pain. Your deepest wounds, your heartbreaks, they become like data points for them. They're mapping out your emotional weak spots, not to support you, but to gain access, to get leverage, and ultimately for control. Your own suffering can become the very anchor for their manipulation.
And this brings us to a huge piece of Islamic wisdom, the idea of emotional privacy. This teaching is a reminder to be discreet. The bottom line is not every person has earned the right to hear your deepest truths, and not every question needs a detailed answer. Real wisdom is knowing who you can actually trust with your vulnerability.
So the 2 questions we just broke down are really just part of a bigger pattern. Here are the others you should be mindful of. Just take a second to read through them. Do you notice the themes? They're all probing for absolute trust, for secret information, for spiritual doubt, and for desperation. Each one of these is like a key, just searching for a crack in your spiritual armor.
Okay, I know. After hearing all of that, it's pretty easy to feel a little on edge. But the source is really clear about this. The goal is not to make you afraid. The solution is all about empowerment. It's about having awareness, not slipping into paranoia.
This is the key takeaway, and it's so important. This isn't about becoming suspicious of every single friend or family member. It's about making a shift from constant paranoia to just cautious awareness. It's about using practical wisdom in how you deal with people while you put your ultimate, unshakable trust in God.
Now, this perfect balance is wrapped up in this beautiful Islamic concept called tawakkul. Basically, it's the idea that you do your part. You take all the practical, necessary steps, and then you put your full and complete trust in God's plan and His protection.
This famous prophetic saying just nails the idea of tawakkul perfectly.
Think about it. You don't just leave your camel in the desert and pray it doesn't wander off, right? No. You take the practical step. You tie the camel, and then you put your trust in a higher power for the outcome. It's faith and action working together.
So what does this mean for you, practically? It means you're the one responsible for protecting yourself, your faith, your personal info, your emotional wounds. You're the one who has to tie the camel. And once you've done your part, then you can find real peace by leaving the rest to God, knowing that the ultimate protection only comes from Him.
And the Quran gives us this incredibly powerful reassurance. To be sufficed by God, what does that even mean? It means He is all you will ever need. When your trust is in the right place, that trust becomes your ultimate shield against any harm, whether you can see it or not.
We'll end with this simple but incredibly profound prayer from the source. It's this humble admission, right? It's us recognizing that we can be aware, we can be cautious, but at the end of the day, we need divine protection from the dangers we can't even perceive. It's a final thought that helps us shift our focus away from fear of the unknown and toward faith in the one who knows it all.